Good evening, everyone. It's Lindsay with JBF Oakland County, and I think we're live on all three of our channels right now. So I think it's working, and we're live on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and wait a short moment and check some of the different streams to see that everything is working, and then we'll get started. Looks like we're good. Okay, so we're good definitely on YouTube and Facebook. Are we good on Instagram? We are. All right, cool. All right, so everyone, welcome to our live party, our Seller 101 party. This is the first of two Seller 101 parties that I am going to do this season. For learning how to get started selling your stuff with our consignment sale. Okay, so this is for those of you who are new. I am going to keep this shorter than I have in past seasons. So this Seller 101 party tonight, and then the next one that is scheduled in a couple of weeks. These two Seller 101 parties are going to be all about just how to get started selling with JBF. And for the next 4 weeks, three weeks, I guess, including the 22nd of October, I am going to go live on Tuesday nights. So I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for just 30 minutes. And we're going to call those live sessions our weekly Tag and Chat office hours. So for those of you who have some advanced questions about how to prepare specific items for the sale, and want to do or want to have some time to connect one-on-one, you can join me for that live video that's tomorrow night. And we might even have some special guests join us. So that'll be fun too. All right. Okay. So let's talk about getting started selling with JBF Oakland County, because that's what we're all here for. If you are new this season, or if you're someone who is curious about what this consignment sale process is, or what this consignment sale thing is, maybe you're a previous shopper with JBF, but you haven't actually sold at our sale before, then I am super glad that you're here. And my goal tonight is to give you a clear understanding of what it looks like to sell, and how simple that actually is, so that you can consider joining us for this next sale coming up in 3 weeks. Our drop off is in 3 weeks and 1 night. It starts on Tuesday night in 3 weeks. So, sorry, I've got a moderator in the background over here creating noise, so I apologize for that. So anyway, welcome again. Let's talk about selling your outgrown stuff. So maybe you've come and shopped before at our sale, maybe you haven't. What Just Between Friends Oakland County is a mega size children's pop-up consignment event. And so what we do is rent a soccer dome in Waterford, and over the course of 6 days, a Tuesday through Sunday, we move equipment into the soccer dome, and then we allow 200 plus families to drop off their gently used, high quality kids gear to the sale. That can be clothing, shoes, books, toys, winter gear, large baby items, smaller baby items, pretty much anything for a kid ages newborn to 18, or newborn to 18 if I'm weird. All along that continuum, you drop those off to our dome, where we've set up a department store basically. And then over the course of Wednesday night through Sunday morning, we sell those outgrown items on your behalf to an audience of 3,000 plus shoppers. After the sale, you have the opportunity to come pick up the unsold items that you might want back. Or if you say, no, I don't want those items back, get them out of my house, then we will donate them on your behalf to our charity partner, who is Lighthouse in Pontiac. Lighthouse is a really cool charity that's been, I mean, they've done amazing things in our community. They've been an incredible charity partner for us to work with because they're super supportive of what we're doing. Um, and they will take those outgrown items for you and redistribute them to people in need in the community if you'd like to donate your items. So that's what this is. We set up this used kids goods department store, right, for a week, and we bring in tons of shoppers to come and purchase those items, and then you earn a paycheck from it. So when you sell with Just Between Friends Oakland County, you earn 60% of the value of your sold items. And if you work a helper shift with us, you earn 70%. So we ensure that you earn more than in any other consignment model. We'll talk more about how you get paid at the end of this video, but let me break down for you what it looks like then to really get started selling, since I have a feeling most of you already have some understanding of how this works. So here's our steps to sell with Just Between Friends Oakland County. We're going to have a drop off on Tuesday, October 22nd from 4 to 9 p.m. and Wednesday, October 23rd from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. You'll be bringing your items to us at that point in time. You'll pick a drop off appointment and you'll bring your items to us. If you can't make those times, you can have a friend, a family member bring those items to us instead. Okay. But those are the drop off times. So, how do you prepare your stuff and bring it all and drop it off? So, here's what you do. The first thing you do is sign up on our website, which is oaklandcounty.jbfsale.com/sell, and you're going to create a Just Between Friends seller account. So Just Between Friends is a national franchise. There are 150 plus locations nationwide, okay? And so as a company, we have a website that allows you to create a user ID and password, and then you can use our website to make tags. Okay, so the first thing you'll do is sign up for the sale on oaklandcounty.jbfsale.com/sell. Okay, maybe somebody who's moderating can put that in the comments for me. And you'll create a seller account. When you create your seller account, the second thing you'll do is look at your email. You'll get a follow-up email from us confirming that your seller account has been created. And from there, you're going to follow the steps in the email to complete your registration, which includes scheduling that drop off and pickup appointment, paying your seller fee, that's $15, and a couple of other things, signing our waiver, etc. You'll go ahead and do those things. You'll join the Facebook group, but you're already here, so good for you. Or if you're on Instagram, we recommend you join the Facebook group because that's where our seller community has a lot of conversation about how to sell, right? And then you'll get started preparing your items for the sale. We're going to support you preparing your items for the sale with a series of emails to give you some piece by piece instructions. We also have access to two seller coaches who support our sale. Krista and Jessica together have over 20 years of experience selling at JBF Sales, and they are our two seller coaches. So when you sign up to sell as a new seller, you get their emails and phone numbers, and you can text or call them. You can message them in our Facebook group. You can always reach out to me as well. I'm also available to answer any questions you have. These ladies, their job is to help you, especially if you're new, navigate how to do this selling thing. Okay. And then from there, it becomes really simple. I say you break this into three pieces. First, you gather, then you prep, and then you price. Okay. So that's it: gathering, prepping, and pricing. Okay. To gather, what we're talking about is you're going to start to collect all the items that you want to sell at the sale. And I think the easiest way to start is to pick a room. I personally like the low hanging fruit. I think that that's the easiest way to get started. If you're somebody who's new and you're a little bit anxious about this, like, oh, it seems like a lot of stuff, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, I like to pick the low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit, if you're going to get started selling your kids' outgrown stuff, is books and shoes. Those are the two things I love to gather first because they're really fast to process through and tag. So, what I would tell you to do is to grab a laundry basket and go to the place in the house where all your shoes are. For me, it's in our laundry room. I just did this the other day in our laundry room. If you don't have a central place like that, then go into your kids' bedrooms and grab those outgrown shoes that they have, gather them all up in a laundry basket. Okay. Step one, gather is done. Okay. What you're going to do with that set of uh, items that you've gathered, so for example, shoes in this case, is then you're going to move into step two, which is preparing them for the sale. Okay. Preparing items for the sale means that you're sorting through them and ensuring that they meet our quality standards. So with JBF, one of the reasons that we have such a fan base of return shoppers who are so excited about our sales is that we're offering our shoppers 50 to 90% off retail prices on super high quality kids gear that has been used, but that still has tons of life left. Okay. And so when you prep your items for the sale, what you're doing is first sorting through those things to ensure that they meet our quality standards. We talk about quality in terms of what we say are the 4 C's. So your items should be clean. For shoes, that's a big one, right? For books, probably not so much. Current. So we appreciate that you bring items that are new within the last 10 years. Complete. So that really applies to things like toys in particular. Shoes, for example, need to have their shoelaces. Toys should have all of their parts so that they're functional. And compliant. Compliant really applies to things like larger baby gear. For example, if you had a car seat or a stroller that you wanted to resell, those things need to have all their pieces and follow current safety guidelines, not have been recalled by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, so on and so forth. So when you're going to prep your items, first thing you're doing is sorting through them to ensure that they meet the 4 C's. Are they clean, current, complete, and compliant? Okay. The items that are resaleable at JBF, you're going to put in one bundle. Items that you're not ready to part with yet, you're going to put in another bundle because you're going to find those things. I have a couple things tucked away here and there. And then items that you're ready to part with, they don't meet JBF quality standards. They don't follow the 4 C's, but you feel like somebody might have some want for them. You're going to put those in your donate and give away pile. Okay. So first thing you've done has been gathering all those items, and now in prepping them, you're going to sort through them first and make sure that the items that you bring to the sale meet our quality standards. Okay. That just ensures that our sale remains high quality so that our shoppers continue to want to come back, right? The second thing you'll do is you're going to prep your items in terms of making sure that any cleaning that needs to happen to them happens. So, for example, this is a little pair of shoes that I prepared for the sale, and I made sure that they were all clean. The soles are clean. This is just like a it doesn't come out anymore. So like there's, we know items are used. So if there's like a little blemish or something like that on a sole of a shoe, it doesn't matter. But you can see that there's no serious stains on these. They're not covered in mud, nothing like that, right? And then to prep them, in the case of shoes, you're just going to make sure that they are attached to each other so that lefty and righty don't get lost from one another. For toys, it might be if it's a toy with a bunch of pieces, putting all the pieces together in the Ziploc bag. For clothing, you're going to hang them on hangers, which is important. So, for example, you're going to go through and hang all your items because everything at the sale that is clothing items are hanging. Okay. All right. And then you'll do any additional little work on things that you need to do, like potentially if something needs a safety pin, it needs a piece of tape so that the item stays really secure and basically in place throughout the sale as it's being handled. You're going to do those things. With this little fleece sleeper that I have that my son outgrew, This coat hanger I have it on is like a baby or infant hanger, and this is an 18-month sleeper. My son just turned 2. Um, so this, like, it's pretty secure on here, and if it got handled a lot at the sale or, like, yanked, it can pop off the hanger like that. Oh, no, and then it falls on the floor, right? Which is a bummer. So when we're prepping items, we do a little bit of extra work to ensure that the items we're prepping stay all put together basically so that at the sale they can be easily shoppable but don't lose any of their pieces, that a garment doesn't end up on the floor, for example, that all the pieces of toys stay together, for example. And so what I've done in the case of this little guy is I just took a safety pin. I was really particular with my safety pin. I'm pretty particular with my pins, and I put it right here through the seam of the shoulder. Okay. And then I put that safety pin around that top plastic bar of this coat hanger because it's kind of like gripping this coat hanger, and it's going to prevent this from being able to fall off. So see, it can't really get yanked off anymore. It's like I'm really pulling on it. And then even then, if it did get pulled off on that side, it's pinned here and it's not going to go to the floor. And some nice shopper or one of our sales staff is going to come back along and tidy up the shelves and see this and fix it for you. So that's what prepping is. Prepping is making sure that your items are first right for the sale, and then second, packaged in a way that they'll be able to stay all together while they're at the sale. In terms of prepping, because this is a seller 101 call, I'm not going to go into tons of detail about you need safety pins, you need tape, you need this, you need that. I'm not going to worry you with that all tonight. Tomorrow night, when I do our tag and chat office hours, if you have more specific questions about how to hang something, how to bag something, how to package a particular toy, that's what those are for. So this is just going to be the basics tonight. That way you get all of your really low level questions answered, and then we can go into details later as you get closer to preparing for the sale. So I've gathered my stuff. I've taken my laundry basket. I've got it full of all of my kids' outgrown shoes. I've moved into the prep phase, which has included sorting and then packaging the items for the sale. And now I'm going to tag my items. Tagging my items includes deciding a price that I'd like to charge for the item and making the tag. Okay. So you, at the beginning of this process, you created a seller account with JBF, Oakland County, and you've got that seller account. You can log into it and you can see our website where you can make tags. What you do is that tagging page has 9 different columns in it, or 9 different fields in it for you to make 9 tags at a time. That's because tags, which look like this, print 9 at a time on cardstock paper. We highly recommend you use cardstock paper because regular old printer paper is too thin and it won't stand up to the rigor of being handled at the sale. This cardstock paper, this is just 65 pound, which is like the cheapest cardstock paper you can get at Target or Walmart. I get mine on Amazon. We sell it as at supply meetups for you if you need supplies. This cardstock paper will hold up through the sale, so this is perfectly fine for you to print your tags on. You'll print your tags on your cardstock paper, cut them apart, and attach them to your items. So that's what tagging is, right? So what I do is go into the website, and in the fields that are available, I'm just going to type in with as much description as possible the name of the item that I'd like to sell. So for example, if I was selling this guy, I would label this size 18-month fleece bear camper theme zip up footy jammy, something like that. I use way too many words. You don't have to be that intense, but like the size is important. So size 18-month, and that's a fleece jammy, and then maybe with bears on it or something like that. You want to try to make a name that for your tag that is pretty specific, just because if for any reason this tag accidentally got detached from that item. We're going to find the tag on the floor, and we're going to find the item in somebody's cart, or they're going to bring it up to us wanting to buy it without a tag, and then we're going to try to match them back together. We do try to do that as much as we can at the sale. Tags don't come loose that often. It's pretty rare, but when they do, we really try to ensure that the tags get reconnected back to their items so that we have happy shoppers and happy sellers. So you'll create a tag with a really specific name, as specific as you can be, so that if we're looking for the tag for that item, it makes sense when we find it in the computer and we go, oh, yep, there's the tag right there. That's the tag. So fleece zip up onesie, fleece zip up sleeper, 18-month bears, right? That would be, I would probably only have 1 or 2 tags in the system that have anything similar to that. And so that would help me figure out which tag that belongs to. So you create the name, you've entered the size, and then you get to create the price. Now, this is not the actual tag for that item. This is a tag for a different item that I have to go price later. This is for a Cozy Coupe gas pump. But anyway, what your tag will look like is this. So this is my seller number. This is how my item is identified to me. And this is the barcode, which is how my item is going to get scanned, and we're going to collect payment for it. I get to pick the price for my item, and I also get to pick whether or not I would allow my item to sell at half price in the event that it wasn't sold by like approaching the end of the sale. There is a star that prints on the tag right here that says full price. If I say I'm only going to allow that item to sell for full price. If there is no star on the tag, then the item is going to be eligible for the half price sale. I pick that on a per item basis. And I also pick on a per item basis if I'm going to allow my item to get donated at the end of the sale, or if I want to come back and pick it up. I personally, I'm clearing my clutter. Like, clutter overwhelms me. And so I want to never see any of this stuff again. So I'm donating all of mine. We strongly recommend that if you choose not to donate your items, you at least choose to reduce or to let sell at half price most all of your items. And in particular, this is important for clothing, okay? Because clothing sells really well. It's our best seller at the sale. We want you to bring all of your great clothes. And we know that sellers who allow their clothing to sell at half price, if it is not sold by that point during the sale, have a way bigger paycheck. So we really strongly recommend that you allow all clothing to reduce. I am in the camp of let everything reduce and donate because I never want to see it again. So you'll create your tag, you'll make the name, you'll choose the price, you'll choose if the item is going to reduce, and if the item is going to be donated. You do that for each item that you want to sell. So you maintain full control over all of that information. We have a pricing guide that we post online on our website. It's also in our Facebook group. It gets emailed to you after you sign up for the sale. And you can always reach out to our consignor coaches as well for help with pricing. How much would I price this item for? I say, what is the amount of money that I would buy this item at myself and think to myself, wow, that was a great deal. Now, this particular thing, I own this, so I know how much I paid for this. This is a Costco sleeper. They were in a 2-pack, and I bought them in a 2-pack for $12. So I know that the retail value on this guy was $6. Okay. And that's really cheap for a fleece sleeper. They're not all that inexpensive. But that's how much I happen to pay for this one. Okay. We say you wanna aim for about 30% of retail, 35% of retail, like 1/3, okay? So knowing that I paid $6 for this, a good place for me to start for this guy, because this is a Costco fleece sleeper, would be $2, all right? Now, if this was some other fancier fleece sleeper that costs more money, I would probably tag it for a little bit more. Fleece sleepers do well. I think 3, um, depending on the size, like 325, $4 might be appropriate. In this case, for this one, I know how much I paid for it. I don't ever wanna see it again, and for me, like, it's really important for me, like, to maintain this mindset of, like, my possessions are kind of loosely held and freely given. So, like, I'm gonna be super happy getting $2 for the sleeper, and I have no problem pricing it at that. So, for me, I'm gonna price this at $2, and I know if I was a mom shopping for this and I found this for $2, I would be thrilled to buy it for $2. So that's the price I'm gonna price my items for. The price that I would be thrilled to buy it myself if I was shopping for it and found it. If that concept is hard, then go for 1/3 as a starting point, okay? Starting point, meaning that that's gonna be a great rule for clothes, for toys, for shoes, and then you're gonna price up a little bit or price down a little bit depending on supply and demand and popularity. So, for example, Love Every toys are crazy popular and they resell for a very high price in some of these mom to mom groups and on Mercari and whatnot. You can probably price a Love Every toy a little more than a third of retail. You might price that at 40 or 50% of retail and it'll probably sell. Things that are in lower demand, you're going to want to price a little lower. So, for example, newborn baby clothing. Don't we all get bombed with it when we have our baby showers? Yeah. And so there's a ton of it out there to be resold, and we're always swimming in that little baby clothing, newborn, 0 to 3 month, 3 to 6 month, because there's very high supply. This is the economics. If you took econ or didn't take econ, I got a really bad grade in econ. I barely passed econ when I was in college 20 years ago. But I do remember supply and demand, they're opposites, right? So if there's a really high supply of an item, then there's going to be a lower demand for it. And to be competitive, you're going to want to price it a little lower. So I might price this, if this was like a newborn sleeper, I might price it for $1. I never wanna see it again. I'm gonna be perfectly happy with my money, and for me, it's worth it. But I will definitely consider supply and demand when I'm pricing. If there's a ton of those items at the sale, then I'm gonna price a little lower. The categories that you wanna be pricing a little lower: maternity, there tends to be a lot of those items at the sale, the small baby clothes, and then some of the baby accessories. So, again, just think about those things that you get tons of when you have a baby shower or something: bibs, burp cloths, swaddles. I know, like, I looked up at a point and I had like 15 swaddles, and I did not need 15 swaddles, right? So, some of those things you might want to price a little lower, 25% of retail, and you'll be really successful selling your items that way. I would definitely take those things that are in lower demand and or that have a higher supply. It's not that they're in lower demand, it's just that there's a very high supply. People want them and they have a lot of choices at our sale, right? So those items that are in high supply, I would price those items lower and I would price those items to reduce and donate. Pricing for items in high demand, you can earn a little more on. So things that are going to be in high demand, toys, especially this time of year for our holiday sale, for our fall winter holiday sale, toys are going to be in higher demand. So it's okay to price toys a little higher. I would go a third of retail, 40% of retail, maybe, if it's a very popular toy. Um, Name brands, especially winter gear. So if you've got like really great winter snow boots or a coat, Columbia brand, a North Face jacket that are kid sizes, you can price those a little bit higher. And baby gear, it's okay to price a little bit higher as well. So things like strollers, excellent use condition car seats, your baby bouncers, exercisers, those things, 40-45% of retail, often those items will sell as well because those are still great deals for a mom who might need them, especially if they're in really good condition. Condition matters too, so make sure that you are compensating for your price based off of condition. Something new in box or barely used, you can price higher. Something that's got more wear and tear, you feel like it's still suitable, it still meets the JBF standards, the quality standards of clean, current, complete, and compliant, right? But it's seen some days and maybe it doesn't have years of life left. Maybe it's just got one season of life left. You're going to price those things lower. Okay, so that's how you do pricing, which is part of tagging. So when you're tagging items, you're pricing them, and then you're attaching the tags. Okay, you're going to print out that sheet of 9. You're going to cut them up, which I did while I was talking to you, fidgeting, and then you're just going to attach them to your items. So attaching tags to items, you might use a safety pin or a zip tie for something like a pair of shoes. I've used the same zip tie to hold the shoes together and attach my tag to it. You could use a piece of string. For clothing items, you have 2 options. You can use a safety pin to tag this to the clothing. I like to tag on an inner seam. So I would tag on the inner seam of a neck. Maybe I would tag down on the inner seam of the sleeve. I'm always tagging on the garment's left side, right? Right. I shouldn't
You're
have said that.
mirrored right now.
I always tag on the garment's left side. I'm aware that I am mirrored right now. Okay, so this is my left, even if it looks backwards to you guys. And this is the garment's left as well. When I look at this item, when it's facing me, the coat hanger looks like a question mark. So that's the way that you're going to tag your items. You're going to hang all your coat hangers looking like a question mark, and you're going to place your tag on the garment's left side. Okay, that means over here. The reason you're going to do that now, if you've already tagged, if you're somebody who's already tagged some stuff and you're like, oh my goodness, I put it on the wrong side, it's fine. Don't freak out, right? It doesn't matter that much. The reason it is most helpful to put things on this side, on the left side of the garment, is because that's the side that's going to be the most visible to the shopper when they're looking in the clothing racks. If a tag ends up over here, they're still going to be able to find it. They're going to look for it and it's going to be okay. It's just immediately visible over on this side, and we just want to make it easy. So you're going to take your tag and attach to the garment, excuse me, with a safety pin or with a tagging gun. So if I wanted to do it with a safety pin, I'd do it like this. And this is a thing that I will review over and over during those tag and chats on Tuesday nights. So I would just go like that. Okay. I'm going to take the little inner seam of or the inner lining of my sleeve here. And I'm going to put my safety pin in there. I'm doing it like that so that there's no chance that this safety pin damages the clothing. Okay. Now, safety pins don't damage clothing unless you use one that is like way too big. Okay. And this is a whole topic of debate in our Facebook group on the regular, right? Safety pins should not damage your clothing unless you use one that's way too big. The holes made by safety pins spread fibers apart. They don't puncture fibers. So safety pin holes wash right out in the wash, and you should feel confident doing this. I still, just because I'm an anxious person, I like to put my safety pin holes in places where I know that if for some reason there was a little hole that got left in the garment, it wouldn't cause a functional problem. So in an inner seam, for example, it doesn't matter if there is a little hole in an inner seam. So you can tag on the sleeve. The main place people like to tag is right here on the neckline. And so I'll show you that because this has this really nice little piece of like ribbing here on the top or trim on the top. I'm just going to poke that in underneath the trim seam, and right there's my tag. Okay, so that is the best way to attach your items. You don't have to put your safety pin through here like this. I know this tag is super confusing and you don't have to put the safety pin in like this. This is perfectly fine. This will do just fine for you. Okay. If you have a tagging gun, you can also use a tagging gun. That is an advanced tool, and I really advocate for using tagging guns if you have a lot of clothing because it will so speed up the time that you spend tagging your items. However, it is very important that you use a tagging gun correctly. And so we've got a tagging gun how to use it guide on our website. I'll have someone go to the website and pull that link and link it here in the chat for you. Really, please, please, please make sure that you review that document on how to use a tagging gun before you do it, because tagging guns can leave holes in garments because the gauge of the needle is way bigger than a safety pin. And again, like I said, safety pins, what they do is they spread fibers apart, whereas tagging guns will actually like burst or tear or rip a fiber apart and create a hole. And if you have a garment with a hole in it, it's no longer clean, current, complete, and compliant, right? It's so our clothing standards are the items are free of stains, rips, tears, holes, damage, right? That they have lots of life left. And we hate to see people use a tagging gun and work really hard to prepare all their items for the sale, and then they bring them to the sale, they go through inspection, and we can't accept them because they all have damage. So make sure if you use a tagging gun, you review our tagging gun rules. And ladies, don't give that tagging gun to your husband. Don't do it. Every sale, there's some poor person, and I feel bad. I want to cry with them, who gives that tagging gun to their husband and says, "Tag my stuff," and he does it wrong, and then we can't take their stuff. And I always feel terrible when I have to say no. So make sure you read the tagging gun rules. That is really important. All right. So what do? We gathered in our laundry basket. We prepped. We made sure that things were clean, current, complete, and compliant, and that they were packaged correctly. And then we've tagged them, which means that we have created our tags and we've attached them to our items. Advanced topic, how to attach tags to non-clothing and shoe items, things like books. You use painter's tape. You can use zip ties. You can use yarn. I personally love making little tag loops with yarn because I think it looks so cute. And if you use cotton yarn, that's organic and biodegradable and it doesn't hurt anything. You can buy cotton yarn at the dollar store. Any of the tagging supplies that you need, pretty much with the exception of like coat hangers and your cardstock, you can buy at the dollar store pretty much. And so we'll have more information on that on our consignor group, or you can ask a consignor coach or a seller coach or me where to find the right type of supplies that you need. Ziploc bags can be very helpful if you need to put a bunch of pieces of a toy with many pieces in it all in one container so that they don't come loose. That's another thing I'd recommend you do. So we've gathered, we've prepped, and we've tagged, right? Last thing you're going to do in order to sell with us is drop off. So if you've signed up for the sale and you've completed both steps of registration, in that second step of registration, that's where you've paid your fee, signed your consignor waiver, and picked your drop-off appointment. You'll bring your items to the sale either Tuesday, the 22nd of October or Wednesday, the 23rd of October, and you will put your items out on the floor. Much more to come on that later. That's a whole nother topic, and we don't have time tonight. I will always come on like 3 or 4 days before drop off and give a detailed explanation of what drop off looks like. It changes a little bit every season because we're growing so rapidly that we always have to make changes, but we try to make it as smooth as possible for you. Drop your items off at the sale. For selling with us, you get to shop early. So when you sell with JBF Oakland County, you get to shop first on Thursday at 8:30 in the morning this sale season. And we're going to be super excited to see our sellers show up to shop at 8:30 on Thursday morning, Thursday the 24th. And you might not have known it, But true story, you can actually shop Wednesday night if you work a helper shift at the sale. So our sellers who are not helping at the sale get to shop Thursday morning at 8:30. Helpers get to shop Wednesday night. We have tiered or staggered entry from 5 p.m. through 7 p.m. The sale's open till 9, so you'll get at least 2 hours of shopping at the sale if you choose to work a helper shift. Another reason to choose to work a helper shift is that when you sell with us, like I said at the beginning of the video, you earn 60% on all your sold items. And when you work a helper shift, so when you become a shift helper for us, then you earn 70%. So not only are you going to get to come in and shop on Wednesday night, shopping first before everyone else, you're going to earn an extra 10% in your paycheck. Okay. So helper shifts are still open. You sign up for those on my JBF tags, or like on that my JBF tags is the tagging website. So you sign up there. When you enter into that tagging website, like you're going to start making your tags, you click the gray help at the sale button on the right hand side of the screen next to the Oakland County sale, and then you pick your helper shifts. We definitely need more help throughout the sale. I looked at helper shifts today. They actually look the best that they've looked yet of our 4 sales. This will be our 4th sale. They look the best they've looked yet. So I'm very excited about that we're finally going to maybe have enough people to help us. And I'd still love to pay you more to come and help. It's so fun. You get to meet other moms in the community, other families in the community, because we have lots of moms, we have grandmothers who sell with us, we even have dads who sell with us. So you get to meet other people in your community, connect with them, and the work is simple and enjoyable. It's just, making things organized, helping with the sales setup. We have a great time. Please sign up for a helper shift if you haven't done one yet, and we'd love to pay you an extra 10% for that. After you've dropped your stuff off, the sale is Wednesday through Sunday. On Sunday, as a seller, on Sunday at noon, the sale closes, the sale is done. And then there is one last 30-minute party, one last 30-minute party where you can shop items that are going to be donated at 75% off. Right? So our sales schedule works. We sell at full price from Thursday through Saturday at 2 p.m. As a seller, on Saturday at 2 p.m., you get to enter the sale first and shop any of the items that have been marked for reducing. So for example, this guy, these shoes that I put, these are stride rights that my son wore for like 30 seconds. It was kind of heartbreaking. Size 4T stride rights. I think they cost me like $30. And I'm selling them for $375, right? And if on Saturday at 2 p.m. these were still there, they would be half price. So on Saturday at 2 p.m. these would be a dollar. What is it, Steven? Do the math for me. $1.50.
$3.75 divided by 2.
Yeah, I know that. They'd be $3.75 divided by 2, he said. So they'd be like $1.87-ish, I think. Yes, like $1.87, $1.88. Which that's crazy. that's crazy. And there's going to be all sorts of deals all over the sale like that. That starts Saturday at 2. We go half price like that through the rest of the sale. Now, if you didn't mark your item to be reduced, it wouldn't be able to sell at a reduced price, but somebody could still buy it at full price. So all the items remain on sale, and many of them will be 50% off, but it's your choice what you price your items at, remember. We stay half price like that on all of the items eligible for a reduction through 12 p.m. on Sunday, and then sellers only, not open to the public from 12 to 12:30. Any items that have a D on them become 75% off. So it's one last really fun party to get excellent deals, and an item like this would be less than $1, right? That's just one last chance to sell your items. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Anyway, so one last chance to sell your items, 12 to 12:30 Sunday, That is the 75% off for sellers only, not open to the public sale. Okay, then we break down. And if you did not choose to donate all your items, you'll have to come and pick them up from 6 to 8 p.m. If you did choose to donate your items, you're done. Sit back and relax. You are all done. And within 14 days, we'll go ahead and cut your paycheck for your earnings. Our average seller is earning $405 selling with JBF Oakland County right now. So it's definitely worth it. The first time you do it, I think that it can feel a little overwhelming. And so I'm honest about that. I'm forthright about that. And the more you tag, the more practice you get, the easier it gets. So I say start with shoes, books, toys are going to be a huge seller for this sale. Work up to clothes. Clothes sell the best if you want to make the most money. Definitely bring your clothes because they sell really well. But pick something not too overwhelming. Just pick 9. Just pick 9 things in your house. Maybe pick your large items. Those are like a real motivator because those sell for more money and they take a lot of space. So once you have them tagged and packed away ready for the sale, you feel like a lot of accomplishment. Pick 9 things that are going to feel easy and comfortable to you and get started with your sale prep. And we're here to help you throughout all along the way. Okay? So that's it for tonight for Seller 101. That's how selling works. And this is really a true Seller 101. This is like the basics for those of you who are brand new. Tomorrow night, I'll start our Tuesday night tag and chats, office hours from 9 to 9:30. Drop in, say hi, show me what you're tagging. I'll show you what I'm tagging. That's the real reason I'm doing tag and chat, so that I have an excuse to tag my own stuff. So I'll be tagging my stuff, and you can tag your stuff with me. We can just hang out. Or if you have questions about how things work at the sale, how to price things at the sale, working a helper shift, whatever you need, I'll be here to support you. All right. From me and all of Team JBFOC, thank you so much. And we hope you have a wonderful night.